Hello and welcome to the Times of India. You watching Global Pulse with me, Neha Khanna. Our big focus on the show tonight. The war in West Asia has taken a dramatic new turn. In defiance of US President Donald Trump, Iran has appointed Mojtaba Khamenei as the new supreme leader of the Islamic Republic. He succeeds his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed in a joint US-Israeli strike at the beginning of the war. The decision is hugely significant and potentially explosive. For the first time since the Iranian Revolution, power in Iran has effectively passed from father to son, something the revolution itself claimed to reject. This comes just days after Trump had described Mujtaba as a lightweight and claimed that he must have a role in choosing the next leader of Iran. The big question now is, what does this development mean for the war on Iran? The current crisis began on the 28th of February, when Ali Khamenei was killed in a targeted strike in Tehran as part of a joint US-Israel operation targeting Iran's top leadership during the opening phase of the conflict. This was essentially a decapitation strike, an attempt to destroy the command structure of the Iranian state. At first, the future of Iran's leadership was unclear. Under the Iranian constitution, an interim leadership council temporarily took control while the powerful assembly of experts debated who should succeed Khamenei. Within days, a clear winner emerged. Mojtaba Khamenei is a 56-year-old cleric who has long been one of the most mysterious and powerful figures inside Iran's political system. Despite holding no major public office, he spent years operating behind the scenes, cultivating alliances with hardline clerics and especially the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran's all-powerful military force. He was already a kingmaker. Now he is the king. Many analysts believe that Mujtaba played a major role in shaping Iranian policy during his father's later years, including decisions around internal repression and regional proxy wars. But his rise also breaks a taboo. Iran's Islamic Republic was founded partly to overthrow hereditary monarchy. Yet, the new succession effectively turns the system into something resembling a political dynasty. That alone makes the decision hugely symbolic. Most importantly, it's a deliberate act of defiance towards Donald Trump. In the days before his appointment, Donald Trump had openly warned that Mojtaba Khamenei was unacceptable as Iran's next leader. He suggested the United States should have a role in shaping the country's future leadership. Iran's clerical establishment responded with exactly the opposite choice. By selecting Mojtaba, Iran's ruling elite has effectively sent a message that Iran will decide its leadership, not Washington. Analysts say the move is meant to show continuity and resistance rather than compromise. It's a signal that the Iranian state intends to fight, not negotiate from weakness. Another crucial factor is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The IRGC is not just a military organization, it's a political and economic powerhouse controlling large parts of Iran's security apparatus and economy. Mojtaba Khamenei has deep ties to the institution, which made him a natural choice in wartime. Shortly after his appointment, Iran's military and political leadership publicly pledged allegiance to him. For the IRGC, stability and unity are critical during a major war. Choosing Mojtaba ensures three things: continuity with the previous leadership, loyalty from the military, and rapid consolidation of power. Iran needed a wartime leader immediately, not months of internal debate. Now the big question is, does this appointment make the war more likely to escalate? Most analysts say an escalation is quite likely. Mojtaba Khamenei is widely viewed as more hardline than his father. He rose within the system during years of confrontation with the West and is closely aligned with the most ideological factions of the Iranian state. The circumstances of his rise, following his father's assassination, create enormous pressure for retaliation. In Iran's political culture, failing to respond to such an attack could be seen as weakness. And that means the new leader may feel compelled to demonstrate strength early in his rule. The conflict itself is already spreading across West Asia. Missile strikes, drone attacks, and air raids have hit targets across multiple countries. The war is not confined to Iran and Israel. Several Gulf states have been in the line of Tehran's fire. Besides, energy infrastructure has been targeted, and oil prices have surged dramatically as shipping through the Strait of Hormuz faces disruption. The region is now facing its most dangerous military escalation in decades. And with Mojtaba Khamenei now in charge of Iran's nuclear program and armed forces, the strategic stakes are even higher. But is Mojtaba's position secure? Inside Iran, there are risks to his rule. There's the question of legitimacy. Some clerics and political figures oppose the idea of hereditary succession. They fear it undermines the ideological foundations of the Islamic Republic. Then there is public unrest. Iran has already experienced massive protests in recent years over economic hardship and political repression. War and sanctions could worsen those tensions. Most significantly, the risk of assassination. Israeli officials have already indicated that Iran's new leader could be considered a legitimate target in the ongoing conflict. Mojtaba Khamenei has gained power during perhaps the most dangerous moment in Iran's modern history. In the long run, Mojtaba Khamenei's appointment may signal something deeper about the direction of the Iranian regime. Rather than reforming under external pressure, Iran's leadership appears to be doubling down on hardline control. The system is consolidating around three pillars: the clerical leadership, the revolutionary guards, and a wartime national security state. That combination could make Iran more centralized and more confrontational than before. So what happens next? The appointment of Mojtaba Khamenei no doubt ensures continuity of Iran's current strategy, which is primarily one of resistance against the United States and Israel. The circumstances of his rise make retaliation and escalation more likely in the short term. Also, the war is now tied directly to the survival of the Iranian regime itself. It's a fight over the future leadership and identity of Iran, and that makes the stakes far higher. West Asia has entered a new phase of the crisis, and with a new supreme leader now in power, the decisions made in Tehran, Washington, and Tel Aviv over the next few weeks could shape the region for decades.